So it seems a lot of channels, they'll put out a video that will give you reasons why you start stacking gold and silver. And I figured I might as well throw my hat in the ring and shoot my opinion out there. Hopefully somebody that's looking to get into buying gold and silver, they stumble across this and maybe I'll inspire them to pick up a little bit. I guess there's lots of questions on where to buy and what to buy, whether you should buy, pre-65 stuff like this $50. I've got some dimes here as well. You'll notice the edge of the dimes, they don't have that copper look like the ones do in your wallet, or like the ones in your wallets do. I can't remember if you're not supposed to end the sentence with that, or you're not supposed to end it with a preposition, I guess. So these are all dimes from before 1965. Back when our money was actually money. So gold and silver are money. The paper dollars that we use today, this is currency, or they're actually little notes. A note is a loan or a debt. So little debt instruments. And so some people prefer to save in silver. Like this is a big old 10-ounce silver bar, really beautiful one. Got this from Monument Metals. And so I guess if you're just starting out, how much should you own? There's a lot of financial advisors that will say 5 to 10% of your net worth should be held in gold and silver. I think it should be way higher, at least right now, because our currency isn't backed to anything. And so I guess, how much should you own? It's like money. I guess, how much money should you have? You always want to earn more and save more and try and get more. So I don't have an end goal. I guess when I started, I wanted to get to 100 ounces. I started just buying American Silver Eagles, like these here. I probably bought this one in 2001 because it's dated 2001. But these are the most popular bullion coin in the world. They have the highest resale value, the highest perceived value, but it's an ounce of silver, just like this is an ounce of silver, and this is an ounce of silver, and $1.40 in pre-1965 United States coinage is an ounce of silver, because these are 90% silver. The sound, it just sounds different. So I started off with these, and I just bought an empty tube, and I started filling it up over time. And then when I got it full, then I started another tube. I thought it would be cool. Once I got to 100 ounces of silver, then I was like, well, I don't want to stop. I've got a nice secure feeling now. So I'd also purchased a few 10-ounce bars. I don't have the 10-ounce bars here to show you, but these are more modern ones that I got. This is a 2023. This is actually a coin. It's got a denomination of $20 on it, and this is from the country of Samoa. So it's a 10-ounce bar of silver. You wouldn't want to spend it for 20 bucks because it's worth about $280 or $250 worth of silver. But I usually recommend just buying the lowest premium stuff you can get, the cheapest silver you can buy. There's some random stuff in here, I believe. Yeah, there's. You can go to where to buy it. The best place for somebody just starting out might be the local coin shop. If you just Google coin shop near me, you'll be able to find a place that will sell you some gold and silver bullion. And I usually recommend, if you've never bought any in your entire life and you're just thinking about getting your feet wet, go to your local coin store and buy 2 ounces. 2 1-ounce rounds coins. The cheapest ones they have. Doesn't matter what it shows on there, as long as it's 3 9's fine. This one says it over here next to the bell. 3 9's fine silver. And take those 2 silver rounds or coins home and just play with them, clank them together, put them on your desk at home, and I think it'll inspire you to get more, because this is real wealth. You can, I mean, I guess when you start out, you're going to be checking the spot price all the time, even though it doesn't really matter too much. It's having the weight in your hand. That's what counts. You can buy like maybe one ounce a month and just start filling up a tube. Sometimes people will give you tubes. I had somebody send me 3 tubes. That was kind of nice of him. Thank you, Mike. But I watched Salivate Metal. That's actually one of the first things you should probably do when you start your journey into silver, is subscribe to channels like Salivate Metal. He's a awesome YouTuber, inspirational guy. He's always got a good outlook on life, and he invites opinions that don't exactly match his many times onto his show, and he likes to look at different perspectives. But he's always got some interesting stuff to talk about. So this is a 10-ounce silver coin. It's a little bit higher premium than something like this, just a generic bar. And it doesn't really matter. They both have the exact same amount of silver in them. So value-wise, they're the same thing. You're just paying a little bit more for the cool engraving. And when you're starting out, I don't think you should even bother with this kind of stuff. I'd find the cheapest stuff. This one was super cheap, and it's got a cool design. When this came out, I can't remember what I paid for this, probably $230, but it's 10 ounces of silver, so that'd be $23 per ounce. But after a while, after stacking for a little while, maybe a few months in, you can start getting larger and larger pieces. As a general rule of thumb, the larger the piece of silver is, the cheaper per ounce it is. So you won't be able to, this will be much cheaper than buying 10 1-ounce Britannias. But when you go to sell this, you'll be cashing out of 10 ounces of silver at one time instead of one at a time. And depending on where you think the value is going to go, that may play something into it. It's one thing I remember Sal said on his channel is, like, in regards to how much should you own, it doesn't really matter. If you set a goal for yourself to get 10 ounces, just get 10 1-ounce rounds or coins. As long as you're stacking consistently, it doesn't really matter too much. When you get to 10 ounces, celebrate it. Have a glass of wine and value your accomplishment. And then maybe you'll keep going, get up to 50 ounces. There's a 20-ounce bar here and another 20-ounce bar of a different shape. These are from Kazoo Bullion. And then a 10-ounce bar, then you get to 50 ounces. I'm not saying you should buy these, but if you buy them 1 ounce at a time, you'll start getting some tubes. Like you'll get a tube of American Silver Eagles, 20 ounces there, then and fill up another tube, that's another 20. And then when you get 10 more 1 ounces, you got 50. You've hit another milestone and celebrate it. Then you might want to keep going to 500 ounces, 5,000 ounces. It doesn't really matter as long as you're stacking something that's got you a little bit of access to wealth outside the system. I guess if you're outside the system, you do need to have some stuff inside the system, so you will need to have some dollars that are outside the bank as a buffer, because you don't want to have to sell this stuff in an emergency, because Murphy's Law dictates that if you have to sell this in an emergency, it's going to be at the wrong time, when the value is less than you paid for it. So these are more of a long-term play, something to hold your money and store it over time. And you never know when something bad's going to happen, because, you know, SHTF happens every day to people, every day. Right now, there's probably people watching this video that's having it happen to them right now. A job loss. If you lose your job, that's SHTF. That's like emergency. Oh my gosh, how are you going to pay your mortgage? You've got to have some cash outside the system, because you do not want to be selling this to pay your mortgage out of necessity. You can sell this when the value goes way up and pay off your mortgage, That might be a good way to go. But you definitely need this outside the system, because you don't know when you're going to have your own personal SHTF moment. It doesn't have to be like a zombie apocalypse or an economic collapse or an EMP strike. Losing a job, breaking your back. Whoops, you broke your back and now you can't walk anymore. That's SHTF, even though the economy's fine, in relative terms, I guess. But your SHTF is going to be you specific. I mean, if you've got a castle with a moat and armed guards and a vault full of gold and silver, your SHTF is going to be a little bit different than Billy that lives in Nebraska, that lives paycheck to paycheck and lost his job and he can't feed his family. There's two different levels of emergency. So I would encourage people to just get 2 ounces. If you've never stacked silver or gold before, I didn't bring out any gold to show, but it doesn't really matter. There's lots of channels that show it. But go buy 2 ounces of silver. Just 2. It doesn't, and even if you have debt, I usually tell people don't stack gold and silver if you've got credit card debt. But even if you've got credit card debt and you're struggling, try and figure out a way. Take back cans or sell something on eBay or Etsy and get 2 ounces of this. And this on your desk should motivate you to want to get more. And at that point, you need to get out of debt so that you can get more of this. And that'll help keep you safe. It's not the end all be all. And I'm not really good at explaining this stuff. Truth be told, I have extreme stage fright. So every time I turn on the camera, I have to force myself to do it, knowing that, I could delete it if I think I sound stupid. Good thing is, I don't watch my own videos to see if I sound stupid or not, so I just post them and roll the dice and see if the comments tell me I'm stupid. So, I guess that's about it. I would just encourage people to get a little bit outside the system and then go from there. You'll get a little sense of security, feeling of a little bit more safety. I know this, I've been doing it for about 30 years, and I can sleep at night because I've got wealth outside the system. I mean, some of these American Silver Eagles I paid $7 each for. But it all goes up in value over time. So don't pick an end date and don't say I'm going to sell it when it gets to 100, because who knows what $100 can buy you when this is worth $100 an ounce. It would be, in my opinion, it would be a dumb move to sell something that's skyrocketing up in value and convert it into this where it's guaranteed to go down in value over time. It would be insane, at least in my opinion, to convert it back into this just for the sake of holding this. Now, if you're going to convert this, if you're going to sell this and convert it into, I don't know, US dollars in order to purchase a house or put in a down payment on a house or pay off your home loan or your car loan or your student loan debt or whatever, the only reason I would convert this back to cash is in order to immediately give that cash away for either an investment property, another asset, maybe I don't know, kind of sounds dumb, but I'm thinking maybe getting a couple collectible cars, not expensive ones, but like a couple in the $5,000 to $10,000 range, just as like something to put aside and appreciate in value. But anyway, I guess that's about it. I just wanted to hopefully get somebody that stumbled across this video that's been thinking about buying gold and silver but doesn't know what to get. Just go up in the search bar, put in Salivate Metal or Two Brothers Stacking, or I guess any stacking. Just say gold and silver stacking and you'll get a million different videos. Just try and avoid the ones that are saying buy now or you will your life will be ruined, because you don't need hype in this stuff. This is stability. This doesn't need hype. It's always going to be money. It's always has been money. And in my opinion, it always will be. So I hope you're having a good day. hopefully I can inspire somebody to buy some of this stuff and get themselves out of debt and make themselves financially secure. Anyway, I'm rambling now and I'm tired, and so I'm going to go and post this video without proof watching it, and hopefully somebody enjoys it. Anyway, I hope you have a great day. Later.